The air around Silicon Valley feels different these days. Deals worth billions happen in hours, not months. Startups younger than a college degree are turning founders into billionaires. And at the center of this storm stands one technology that changed the rules of wealth itself: artificial intelligence. From lab experiments to the core of the economy. In less than 10 years, AI has gone from a research project to the engine room of the global economy. A decade ago, people were still asking if AI would ever arrive. Those questions don't exist anymore. It's here, it works, and it's reshaping wealth, power, and influence faster than any other technology wave in modern history. Unlike past booms built on software, devices, or internet connectivity, this is different. This time, AI is a general-purpose intelligence layer woven into every sector: finance, healthcare, defense, education, energy, and more. The scale of value being created is massive, but what makes it even more important is who controls it. When a small number of companies dominate something this fundamental, they don't just shape industries. They shape the economic order itself. Fortunes forming at record speed. According to data from CB Insights, around 500 AI-focused companies have now reached unicorn status. That means each is valued at $1 billion or more. Their combined market value has crossed $2.7 trillion, an amount that would have sounded like science fiction just a few years ago. What's even more striking is how young many of these companies are. 1 in 5 of them is less than 3 years old. And more than 1,300 other startups already have valuations above $100 million. The speed at which money is flowing into AI is unlike anything the tech industry has experienced. Venture capital, once spread across dozens of emerging areas, is now being pulled like a magnet into one space: artificial intelligence. When valuations defy gravity. Some of the clearest signs of this shift can be seen in the valuations of companies like Anthropic, Safe Superintelligence, OpenAI, and AnySphere. Take Anthropic, for example. The company is currently in talks to raise $5 billion in new funding. If that deal goes through, its valuation would shoot up to $170 billion. For perspective, that's more than the market cap of some of the world's largest banks achieved by a company less than a decade old. Then there's Michael Truell, a 25-year-old founder who has become one of the fastest rising stars in this new billionaire wave. His company, AnySphere, saw its valuation double from $9.9 billion to nearly $20 billion in just a matter of weeks. That kind of acceleration simply didn't exist during previous tech cycles. These are not isolated cases. They're signals of a shift in how wealth is built, the rise of a new billionaire class. Earlier this year, a Bloomberg analysis reported that just 4 of the largest AI companies had already produced at least 15 billionaires, together worth $38 billion. And that number is growing quickly as fresh funding rounds mint new names almost every month. What's different this time isn't just the size of the fortunes being made, but how concentrated they are. During the personal computing boom of the 1980s or the dot-com rush of the late 1990s, wealth was spread across many companies and countries. In this AI wave, it's clustering around a small circle of firms and founders. Many expected the next big technology wave to be more global. With cloud infrastructure and remote work, people thought innovation could happen anywhere. But the AI boom has done the opposite. It has reinforced the dominance of Silicon Valley. An MIT researcher explained that the density of AI expertise, venture capital, and institutional know-how in Northern California still has a pull no other region can match. That gravitational force is visible not only in the flow of capital, but also in real estate. Ultra-luxury property sales in San Francisco homes priced over $20 million are breaking records. These sales act as quiet indicators of where wealth is concentrating. And in this case, it's clearly tied to AI. A boom that's geographically concentrated also concentrates political and economic power. Silicon Valley's culture, ideology, and worldview may end up shaping how AI is deployed globally. A familiar pattern, but faster. If you look closely, this billionaire boom follows a pattern we've seen before, particularly during the dot-com era. First, the new wealth circulates within the industry. Investors, founders, and early employees pump money back into other AI companies. This builds a self-reinforcing loop capital. Brings talent, talent drives innovation, and innovation attracts even more capital. Eventually, some of these new billionaires will diversify. Some will start wealth management firms. Others will invest in unrelated industries or set up foundations. But here's the twist. Unlike previous waves, this new group also has the power to disrupt how wealth is managed itself. By applying AI to financial strategies, tax optimization, and estate planning, these founders can build automated wealth systems far more advanced than anything the dot-com generation had. Still, history suggests that human expertise, especially in tax law, philanthropy, and global finance, remains essential at the highest levels. How AI is reshaping the political economy. The AI billionaire boom is not just about individuals getting rich, it's about how entire markets and power structures are shifting. First, capital is being redirected. Money that once flowed into slower growth industries is now pouring into AI infrastructure, data centers, advanced semiconductor production, and AI talent are absorbing huge amounts of investment. This is driving salaries for top AI engineers to levels that surpass even corporate executives in other industries. The result is a growing gap between those who can participate in the AI economy and those who can't. Second, the speed of value creation is a challenge for regulators. Unlike manufacturing booms that took decades, AI's rise has been compressed into just a few years. Policymakers are struggling to catch up, and there's a real risk that wealth will become locked into a small set of companies before meaningful rules are in place. Third, the geopolitical dimension is impossible to ignore. Today, most of the world's AI models, computing power, and data infrastructure are controlled by a handful of US-based companies. This resembles how American oil companies dominated the global energy landscape in the early 20th century, or how US banks shaped global finance after World War II. Even though Silicon Valley leads, the ripple effect of this boom is being felt worldwide. Sovereign wealth funds from the Middle East, Asia, and Europe are moving aggressively to invest in AI startups. These investments aren't just about financial returns, they're about securing strategic positions in the emerging AI economy. Power in fewer hands. Every technology boom has produced winners. But this one stands out because of how much control is being held by so few players. A handful of founders and investors now sit on top of an industry that powers everything from commerce and healthcare to education and national security. That concentration of power has consequences. It affects how talent moves. It influences which problems get solved first. And it quietly shapes how the rest of the world interacts with technology. Some experts warn that if this concentration continues unchecked, AI's future might reflect the interests of a small elite more than those of the broader population. The choices made now in investment, regulation, and governance will decide whether this boom leads to more opportunity or deeper divides. The rise of AI billionaires is the opening act of a new economic order. Their influence will stretch far. Beyond the tech sector, it will touch how we work, how capital flows, how governments set priorities, and even how countries compete. The decisions made now by investors, policymakers, and the industry itself will shape the world we live in for decades. What do you think? Will this new AI economy create a powerful elite that controls the future? Let us know your thoughts in the comments.